Oh, all right. Let's do it. This one is by, oh man, I love him. Lack of Entertainment. Let's go ahead and hear what he has to say in regarding Looted, a black people stealing shit simulator. Let's go ahead and pour it.
Treaties were signed, promises made and broken. Is it stealing to take back what was stolen?
Stone? Oh yeah, absolutely it is. You know, if you go to a child, a 5-year-old, and you ask him this question, like a 5-year-old would know. So you need to understand the level of brain damage that a university professor from America inflicts to its students that they believe that stealing is okay. So, I just want you to understand just how retarded this ideology is, okay? If I go to a Romanian museum and steal a piece of Romanian heritage, am I not a criminal? Like, of course I am, right? But why is that? Because, like, I'm a Romanian, right? So, like, I'm taking back my culture. Well, it's because that's not how it works, right? But, like, for some reason, people...
Well, you are taking from your own culture, and you are stealing. So basically what he's talking about is there's a game called Reloaded, and they're African people stealing from a museum that's in Britain. Or is it in America? Or is it in the West, or is it in Britain? I don't know. Either one. So basically, you are not stealing from like an underground organization that is taking priceless artifacts and giving them to the rich and wealthy. You are stealing from people that love your heritage. You are stealing from people that are showing other people saying, hey, we love your culture. We're going to put it up into the museum. We're going to show it off. We're going to keep it nice and clean. We're going to let people, we are going to immortalize your sort of culture. And then you look at it and you're like, that's actually mine though. You see how weird that sounds? So basically that's what Relooted is. You're running in there, you're stealing African sort of like shit from a museum, and they literally are just like, what the fuck, guys? We like your culture, so we're showing other people your shit. So when some little kid, some little black boy or a family of 4 come in saying, we would like to see your African culture, and then it's completely empty, and the kid's like, well, I wanted to learn something. Sorry, little Timmy, you ain't learning shit today. So, they gave it back to their own people, and I'm over here just like, well, what are they gonna do with those artifacts? I don't know, put it in the closet or something. I don't fucking know.
People understand that, yeah, like if you're a Romanian and you steal something from a Romanian museum, it's theft.
It's theft.
But for some reason, if I go to, like, let's say a London museum that has a piece of Romanian art there, and I steal that, according to social justice activism, it should be okay. So like, as long as the cultural element is not in my nation state, like historically it used to be, but now it's not, I can take it. And what I love the most is that, at least in Indiana Jones, which, by the way, like, social justice also accuses him of theft, at least in the case of Indiana Jones, like, he would say it belongs to a museum. Like, he wouldn't take the...
That's very true. He does raise a point that, like, Xbox has a new DLC coming out that is in relations to Indiana Jones. And so what Indiana Jones is doing... He's not taking artifacts from a museum. What he's doing is he's taking artifacts that are deep within troubling or terrifying or dangerous territory, either from Nazis, either from like evil corporations, or from like an underground like dungeon. He's trying to get those artifacts and show them off to the broader public. He's not going and taking it like to some area where it's just like, oh man, I could sell this for like $500,000. No, he's literally not gaining a goddamn thing. He's out there sweating in the fucking heat, being chased by like evil cultists, and you know, getting his heart taken from a fucking weird cult member, and he's literally trying to show this off to the museum or give it back to the general public for, for obviously heroic means. The same thing with Laura Croft, because activists keep on fucking up Laura Croft. We like it when a hot woman takes artifacts and puts them in a museum. That's literally the same thing as Indiana Jones, except she's the one that flips around and she has double D's. She's literally Indiana Jones, just female edition. So when people look at that like, that's a bad idea, that's a bad idea, but when the black people do it, it's fine. For some odd reason, when black people, steal from a fucking museum, yeah, you can do that one. That's fine. That's different. That's different. Is it? Is it different? It's like, how different is it?
Item himself, like he would donate it to a museum. These people are saying, no, like, you steal it and it's yours. Because it's not theft. Okay? So they made an entire video game based on this premise.
Stolen? Who's stealing them?
Us?
It's time to get out of there.
Let me introduce a friend of mine. Smart, agile, and will let you look into places with the tightest security.
I could probably bench press every one of them.
I could probably bench press every one of you. So you got some big, muscular, ugly chick just in there and shit. Oh, God. You couldn't make it a strong man. You just had to be like, well, we've seen strong men, but have you seen a strong woman? And I'm just like, okay, if you put a strong woman in here, let me guess, there's gonna be a nerdy black guy who's skinny and he's smart and shit, and he has gadgets and shit. He's just like, well, hello there. If you have a strong, they do this all the time. They're just like, subvert expectations. And I'm over here just like, if you're not going to put a muscular guy, then you're going to put a muscular woman. And if you're going to do that, you're also going to put the nerdy black guy. And if you're going to do that, you're also going to have the girl boss. And if you're going to do that, you're also going to have moments where your whole team is literally the hero and not the villain. Like, everything you do is never wrong. You're totally right. Steal from the museum because when you steal from a museum, guess what? The children that go to the museum, that's right, primarily people that go to the fucking museum, primarily the most people that go to the fucking museum are children. Children mostly go to museums. So when you take artifacts from a museum, guess what kids aren't gonna learn? They ain't gonna learn shit about your fucking people. So they're gonna be like, oh yeah, well there's nothing here, sorry. Some weird black lady running around and shit took all the fucking stuff, so yeah, sorry, we're gonna have to send you kids back home. And the kids are like, oh, sorry, they stole everything. No learning today. Yeah, I apologize. One black kid in there is just like, well, I wanted to learn about my culture. Sorry, Timmy. Sorry, Timmy, you ain't gonna learn shit today. Black lady stole it. She took it back home. Is that really her home? Has she ever been to Africa? Shut up, Timmy. Ow! Shut up. Has she really been to Africa? Has she been in America this whole goddamn time? Timmy, watch your mouth. I hate America. That's why I'm gonna stay here and talk about Africa the whole fucking time, like I've been there.
The locksmith strikes again.
The locksmith is literally some scrawny kid that like unlocks things. Oh god, it's all. I knew it. So basically, the black dude is the guy that does the lock picking, like this scrawny dude, and he does the lock picking, and I'm just like, so I was over here thinking like, oh man, it's gonna be like some woman who's gonna be doing the lock picking and the hacking because women are smart, and then this game's just like, no, subvert expectation. Women are not only smart, but they're fucking strong. And I'm like, all right, fine then. God damn. Sorry, I wanted to see a black chick that knew how to, you know, unlock shit. I'm sorry. My bad. I just want to, you know, see a strong dude. You know what's so funny about this game? It looks like a Flash game. It looks like a $10, maybe a $5 game. It looks like a Flash game. Anybody know what a Flash game is? Basically, these are like free games that you played on some obscure website, and then this is what you played. This game ain't worth anybody's fucking time. So when I see games like this, and there's a lot of games like this, I'm just like, wow, that's cool. You're wasting my time. Next game. And then you see something like Atomic Heart 2, and you're like, now that's a fucking video game. So I failed to realize what they're doing. So they barely have any money to make this game. By the way, some of the developers are white in this team. Of course. I looked it up. Some of the developers in this team are white. And they're probably just like, yeah, I'm in agreement with this. And then some of them are probably just like, yeah, I just want a job. The person that is in charge is probably the only black person. Everybody else is just white in the team. They're doing the coding, they're probably doing the graphic designs and all that shit. The only person that's black is probably the three higher ups. And that's it. Everybody else that's on the grind is like the black is white. I
Hold on.
Listen, are you having second thoughts?
Nope. Just
see what I mean? See what I fucking mean? See what I fucking mean? See what I fucking mean? I told you. This is a fully grown man. And that's a fully grown woman. It's a fully grown man, scrawny, small. She's big and black and beautiful. What did I say? Y'all think I'm fucking just saying shit out of my ass. What did I say?
hoping you won't get me killed.
Yeah.
Is it a white guy?
I know what you and your little crew are doing.
Nobody threatens my family or my friends and gets away with it.
It's always, we are family, and though we may be outcast, but you are my family. And I'm like, oh god, every single millennial talk ever. When I watched Lord of the Rings, has anybody ever said we're a family, we're friends, we're we're here to hug each other's dicks? Did you hear that at all on Lord of the Rings? No. The one person said we're a fellowship of the ring, and that's it. We already knew that we were allies. We already knew that we were friends. Nobody came out and said, oh, we're one big happy family. We may be different, but we can all hug each other. No. One person said we're the Fellowship of the Ring. We all stood by each other and we were like, you have my bow, my sword, my axe. We were all chill, and then we left, and then we saved the day. Ain't nobody coming out here going like what she just said. Oh, we're a family. Oh my god, we're a family.
So we are going to do whatever it takes to take back Africa's belongings, and we're going to do it together.
I also like the American experience where they don't say Zimbabwe, they don't say Botswana.
Yo, What's up, Mr. Hardcore Mode? I'm super excited for the Target, the Black Experience Relooted. Chad, I like you. It's so funny how they just like to paint us as thieves. Like that's all we do is we just steal shit. We're always the downtrodden. We're always the ones that need. We're always the one. We're somehow victims all the time. We're always broke. We're never rich, and somehow we're always right all the time. And for some odd reason, we're also thieves. And I'm just like, how about we save people? How about we save artifacts from like a corrupt organization, not a museum, but like an auction? If it was, this is how I see it. A museum is where people go to see things that people enjoy. Museums are not doing anything. What's the word I'm looking for? Malicious. Museums are not doing anything malicious. They are showing something and showing a kindness to that culture. However, if you did it as an auction and you started stealing, well, not stealing, take back from an auction is a much better instead of a museum, because auctions means people are just, taking, they're stealing and they're like doing some black market sort of stuff. It could even be animals or something like from Africa that are like endangered, and then you could steal from that auction or like a warehouse or whatever, and you could have done it that way. That makes it look like these characters are actually heroes. But when you take from a museum, it's just black people stealing. You see what I'm saying? Auction bad, museum good. But they look at it like, yeah, it would be a good idea if you stole from the museum. That would be a good idea. What if these museums were in Africa? That would be fucking hilarious. I don't think it is, even though I'm looking at this video game and I'm looking at the museum and I'm just like, is this Africa? I'm looking at it and I'm just like, this must be New York City or some dumb shit that they're gonna say, because I'm looking at the museum and I'm just like, it looks like a museum that's in Wakanda or in Africa. I could be wrong, but that would be fucking hilarious if she stole all this shit, ran out the front door, and there's just black people everywhere, and everybody's just like, is she stealing in Africa? Yeah, we thought so. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? We're trying to give it back to Africa. You're in Africa, bitch. What the fuck?
They say Africa, the entire continent, one culture, because they are all the same. And apparently, in the social justice game, they all steal shit. No, seriously, like how Tonedeaf is this game. The interesting thing is that while the gameplay actually looks good, like, I'm not going to lie, this is an interesting indie game. Looks like a fun platformer.
It's a flash game.
It's not making fun of a previous IP, right? Like, it's not bastardizing something that already exists. It's kind of tone deaf. Like if you made this game in 2016, a lot of people would have found it tongue-in-cheek. But you gotta read the fucking room, Like, this is like making a terrorist game after 9/11. Like, we already suffered peak woke ideology. And the biggest problem with the woke ideology is the way the HR ladies has decided to treat the gamers, right? Like, complete lack of disrespect, treating the gamers as if they're a necessary evil. We saw how ADL is treating people from Steam. And so, like, when you make this game and you're posing allegiance to social justice,
somebody asked, do we know who the game devs behind this game are? They're just an average indie developer, but basically what's been going on their Steam forum is people are asking, hey, I'm from African descent, and this does not paint a pretty good picture for me. And basically people from Africa were doing forums on their Steam's forum saying like, hey, this is not what we do. Please stop. And then they put on there, on the forum, well, this is what we do, so deal with it. And then they just locked the fucking forum. That's all they've been doing. Every time when somebody would have a disagreement with them on the Steam forum, they would be like, well, this is what we want. And then they would lock the fucking forum. As a matter of fact, Jesus Christ. What the fuck, bro? Watch where you're posting, bitch. Gamers had one job. People's jobs are at stake. Is we getting a George Droid DLC? Funko Pop release? Anti-woke fatigue? We was looters and shit? Tit for tat payback for eternity is what a blacktivist, what? I don't know what he's saying. Emerson Broken, Pride Month, Blacked.com. Why all the DEI touched characters look exactly the same? I'm just here to witness these comments. Why we promoting looting? Can't wait to bring these back to Africa so that Daddy Africa Warlord can buy a new golden AK. Soft locked. Hey yo, hold up. Black Panther is the way? Is white? Damn. White people mad? Offended, to be honest. Team Fortress 2 2025 new update. Get on your knees, white boy. Why the stupid hate? The game setting is all fine to me. Finally, we found the normal one. Well, finally, we found the normal one. Is Jakob and Tricknology going to be part of the game? Not a single dad was involved in the creation of this game. Smack lips. Hey yo, listen up, white boy. Kill the pa, pa. It's so fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. Kill the farmer. Kill the boar. Kill the farmer. Brr, pa. Oh my god. Black fatigue. Now this brr, pa one, it must have been locked. Tell me it's locked. Tell me this is locked. You have to tell me this is locked. It's not locked? You know what it is? I know why it's not locked. It's because the developers finally gave up and they're just done with locking everything. That's probably why. That makes sense. They probably locked stuff, but now there's 300 different topics and they're just like, huh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're just, yeah. Yeah, why can't black people have anything? They can have whatever the hell they want, but when you do something this... No, I don't like the way this tone is. Why can't black people have anything? Listen, your game... What are you talking about? Your game is on Steam, and you can make this game. Nobody out here is telling you you can't make this game. I hate this fucking tone. Like people are saying, "Oh, we're telling you you have to stop." Nobody's fucking telling you what to stop making this game. It's already on Steam. It's wishlisted, and there'll probably be an early access, and the game will come out on 1.0. Nobody's telling you you can't have this. However, when you come out with a game that's this sort of rhetoric, of course you're going to get this sort of hate. I'm sick and tired of people doing this sort of thing like, oh man, it's us. No, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that disingenuous shit. Get that fucking shit out of here. Anyway. Oh, Jesus, that's... oh my god, yeah.
Well, this is the answer you're going to get, right? This seems to be over 70% of the replies. And so, you know, maybe you're going to hope that people are going to hate play it, which may be a possibility, I don't know. But after the era of Sweet Baby, where you have a person from Sweet Baby wanting to ruin Cabrutus, a fellow gamer, one of us.
Yep. Norwegian No Life says, make what you want, but don't get pissy when I don't play it, essentially. Exactly. You can make whatever you want. Absolutely. But when you show us something with this sort of rhetoric, don't be surprised that I or some other people will not play it. Do not be surprised. If I made Trump a Trump simulator, guess what? People that don't like Trump are not going to be play it. It just makes sense. It's just how it is. People that don't like Trump will not play the game. You just have to take the punches for what it is. This is why a lot of developers in the AAA industry make games that are not controversial or political. They just make dry games. You see what I'm saying? They just make dry games. Perfect example, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That whole trailer looked dry. It looked hella dry. It looked like they were just like, listen, we got something new for you for Black Ops 6. What's new for Black Ops Call of Duty? The same fucking shit that we gave you from the previous game. And I'm like, oh shit! The same shit? Welcome to Madden 2027. Oh shit, what do they got for Madden 2027? The same shit that we had in the previous one. Oh shit! Fuck, bruh. This is why they don't try. I can respect Relooted for trying something this bold, but it's not something for me. Does that make sense? I do like it when developers try something this bold, but it's not going to be for a lot of people. That's all I'm saying.
Right? Like he went online and
just
he
don't
showed,
be surprised.
Okay, these are the games that are Sweet Baby approved. And one person from Sweet Baby said, "Oh, he needs to be canceled. Like we need to take away his Steam library. We need to take away his social media." And at that point, people said, "Well, hold on a little bit. Who the fuck do you think you are, you cheeky little shits?" After what they did to the fucking kettle, after what the social justice activists did to the VTubers for playing that Wizards game, after what the social justice...
Bro, I remember what the social justice people did to that one VTuber that gave up. She finally came back as a different VTuber, but when these activists try to go out of their way to ruin people's lives, it's not the same as what Relooted is doing. They're the same type of activists that believe in the same thing as these said activists, but they're everywhere. They're either making video games or they're criticizing other people for playing games that they like, that they deem is controversial. Does that make sense? Where it's just like, listen, we got Dustborn and we got Relooted. You should play these games and you shouldn't play Hogwarts Legacy. And then the people go like, well, I don't want to play your game. I want to play Hogwarts Legacy. And so people go like, the activists go like, well, we're just going to fucking harass you until you get canceled. That's why people don't like this shit. That's the reason why. We don't care if you want to make this game. our point, our reason for shouting out this is like, listen, you can make whatever game you want, but just letting you know, 99% of us think this game is shit. And it's stupid. Black people over here stealing shit, it's dumb as fuck. We just want... Basically, right now, I just want to put them in their fucking place. And let them know that their game is hot dog water. Do I want to cancel them? Fuck no. Do I want them to stop making the game? Hell no. But I do want to remind them, your game is shit. Your game is dumb. That's it. That's it. That's all I want. I don't want to tell them to do anything. Hell no.
Justice activists try to do to Kirche. Like, after all of these things put together, you know, they lost a lot of goodwill. They lost a lot of prestige and PR from people. And so when you're making a game that's like peak social justice, with black people stealing from a
Girlfriend
museum,
reviews too? Yeah.
yeah, you're going to get a lot of cringe. And the thing is, it's also like devoid of historical context. Because
Yeah.
they don't like to talk about, you know, why things are the way they are. Like take Egypt, for instance, right? Like, a lot of people complain that London stole shit from Egypt. But what they never mention, you know, like fact checkers forget to bring a little bit of context, that before the British came into Egypt, they would treat those historical relics like pieces of rock. Like, there were sultans that tried to destroy
True.
the pyramids, but apparently it was too expensive to destroy them at the time because they didn't fucking have dynamite. So it wasn't like for the lack of trying. And we saw
There's another one as well. Like, a lot of people like to say, like, oh, the white people, like, came over and, like, the white people came over and then they fucking killed all the Indians or the Native Americans. And I'm just like, you're right. There was some bad blood between the people that, you know, the white people and the Native Americans. But what they don't tell you is that disease and was the biggest component to killing Native Americans. It was the biggest component. And when people from Europe came over, they did have a means of alchemy and a means of taking care of certain diseases and sicknesses, and it actually helped Native Americans. That's why you see more Native Americans like lately. Like, let's just be honest. There's a lot of Native Americans. They're not wiped out. They're there. They're all over. So when people say, like, oh, they just killed, like, a whole bunch of Native Americans, and I'm like, listen, there was bad blood between the two, but you gotta be honest, disease and sickness was the biggest component to killing Native Americans. And so people just look at it as like, ah, shit, well, they only killed, like, it's like, disease didn't do that. Native Americans had a means of, like, taking care of it. No, unfortunately not. I think Native Americans were, like, were top tier at hunting. They were top tier at hunting and cultivating. They were really good at cultivating. And also, what else? What else were they really good at? They were also good at hunting. They were cultivating. They also were really good at... There were different tribes, so it depended on the tribe. But they were... When it came to combat, they were resilient. They were fucking resilient. Listen, they didn't have no armor. They came out there almost half naked, if not already naked. That's how fucking crazy they were. They like, not all of them, but the warriors, the Indian warriors, they were insane. But disease, don't give a fuck whether or not you're Native American or you're white. Disease and sickness was a prime component back then. So when it came to, that sort of thing, that was the big component. So when you show me this game Relooted, like, oh shit, we're trying to save it from Western museums, you know, black people are trying to save it from Western museums. And I'm just like, well, where are you going to put the fucking... We just saw it in that trailer where they're going to put the fucking... the relics. They put the relics, or the African relics, inside of a muddy hut. You just saw that. You just saw that in the trailer. Go ahead and check it out in the trailer. Instead of looking at the museums in a nice and beautiful museum, you know, seeing the artifacts in a nice, beautiful museums, where did they put the artifacts? In a fucking mud hut. And I'm just like... Great.
So what happened in Syria and other places, right? Like how ISIS simply destroyed things that have historical significance for humanity. Like that back in time, most cultures didn't appreciate this. Like the concept of a museum is also a European concept, right? So basically, I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine that aliens would come on Earth today. Maybe they colonize us, right? They're aliens. And they managed to take, I don't know, an anime girl, right? Like a figurine, a weeb figurine. How much value does it have? Like, people would find it cringe, right? Like, people would look at the anime figurine and be like, who fucking cares? But let's say that the aliens, you know, they put it into a museum in space, and now all the alien cultures just go there to see the figurine. Like, they're all mesmerized, and now the figurine is worth a lot in galactic currency, right? And then humans start bitching, oh, give us back the figurine.
Basically what he's saying is, like, we need to get the artifact. What's the artifact? It's a plate and a spoon. Get the anime body pillow out of that fucking museum. We need it back in our culture. And I'm just like, nigga, what? It's like, you see that giant statue? You know what's funny? You know what's funny about this whole thing? And I'm going to stop the video right here. You want to know what's funny about this whole thing? Is that Africa really doesn't... Two things. The museum is not only showing the culture in a positive light, but it's also not the prime thing that people need in Africa. What they need is water. What they need is clean water. What they need is good food. What they need is a way to make sure that certain animals in Africa don't become extinct. That's also another thing. What we need is farmers. We can have this conversation all day. We're not going to talk about farmers. Let's just move on, okay? What the African people need is food, water, a clean living space, all that sort of stuff. By the way, Africa is not all, like, you know, dirt and mud huts and stuff like that. There's literally cities that are futuristic in Africa. I want everybody to know that. Not every place is like this, okay? So when people come up and it's like, oh, everybody's in mud huts. No, dumb bitch. No, they're not. But basically what they need is something that is substantial. So when you go back to Africa and hand them a statue, guess what's going to happen? People are going to be like, what's that? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Less communism, less socialism. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They could use less of that because, let's be honest, there's regular Africans out there that don't like what these socialists and communists are doing over there. Lo and behold, you know, we're having the same problems over here like Africa is having. It's like people are complaining, oh, the white people. And I'm like, what do you mean? The black people are killing black people. And in Africa, it's the same thing. Black people are killing black people. And everybody's looking like, oh, yeah, you know whose fault it is? It's America. And I'm like, what the fuck, bruh? No. Look inward, okay? Look inward. So what Africa needs is security. That's what Africa needs. But no, you know what Africa needs? We need a bunch of thieves to go out there and give us, we need 2 statues of people, of characters we don't know. We need that wooden elephant. I need 2 gold rings. I need, Do they got spoons over at the Western Museum? I need a couple of spoons because we need it. I need to feed my son. If they got one of them there, if they got, I know I can make a spear right now, like literally in my backyard, but can you go get the spear that they took from me? Because that's my favorite spear. And I'm just like, you see what I mean? You know what's funny about this whole thing? Britain and America have certain things that are by different families in their own culture that's also in the museum. So it's not just Africa. We also got stuff from our own culture where it's like, hey, we appreciate you, soldiers, but we want to keep some of your old sort of like old guns, some of your old uniforms. We want to put that inside the museum, if that's all right with you, because we want to memorialize people that went to Pearl Harbor and all this sort of stuff. And then people were like, go ahead. It's not like I'm going to use that stuff again anyway. So it's just, I just find Relooted to be like, you should have brought this game out in 2020. You should have brought it out in 2020. You probably would have gotten a little bit more people playing your game. But it's 2025 now, and you need to fucking wise up. Shifting the blame. Exactly. Shifting the blame. Listen, when I was young, I used to blame everything on white people, but then lo and behold, I got parents. You know what those are? I got parents. My dad was just like, well, who's creating all these problems, son? Jot it down for me. Well, this and this is kind of my fault, and this is kind of my fault, and this one is a little bit my fault, but it's mostly the white man's fault. And then my dad would be like, oh, okay, so it's all your fault. And I'd be like, I guess. You see what I'm saying? See, if you had good parenting, you wouldn't be shifting the blame towards Western museums. But anyway, we're going to leave it at there. This is Lack of Entertainment. He's a funny-ass dude. He's a funny-ass dude. I will share this with you guys right now. But, yeah. Oh, God. If they want to make that game, go ahead. Fine. Go ahead.